Hello, my name is Blaze Coco. I'm partner of Coco Early Associates. This video contains information regarding value range pricing. Value range pricing is an interesting way of marketing your property to maximize the amount of buyers that will actually see your property. What we do, the philosophy is, if we can get buyers that are at certain price points, like let's say a buyer comes in and says, Blaze, I don't want to look at homes any more than $300,000. Well, $300,000 is a good number. If I was to show that buyer a property at $309 or $329 or $349, there's a likelihood the buyer would say, Blaze, you're not looking out for my best interest. That's not what I said. I wanted to only spend $300,000. So what we try to do is try to keep the buyer's inventory of homes that they'll be looking at under $300,000. So that being said, if you're a homeowner and your home, let's say you think the value is $319,900. So $319,900 is the number. You will, by putting on that number, prevent all those buyers that are in the $280, $299 range from seeing it, because they buy in certain increments: $150,000, $200,000, $250,000, $300,000. If we have buyers, a large mass of buyers, which by the way we do, the buyers that are under $300,000 is much more plentiful than buyers over $300,000. So you don't want to exclude that market. So how do you entice those buyers that are in the $280 and $290 range to tempt them to want to come into the $310 and $320 range? Well, what we do in the multiple listing service and in our marketing strategy, we go out into the market and we say, listen, the price of this home, let's call it 2 Smith Street. 2 Smith Street is on the market with the value range pricing model. Price starting at $299,900 to $329,900. So the buyer sees that and says, oh my God, $299,900, okay. So what we've achieved is we've been able to get this buyer who has capped himself at $300,000 to look at a home that is priced between $299,000 and $329,900. So the buyer walks in and says, oh my God, this is beautiful. And they tend to end up spending a little more money if it is the home that they're looking for. A lot of times, if they've been in the market, they've been looking for 3 months and 4 months and 5 months and 12 months and a year and a half, it's because they've really kind of stuck themselves into a price target that isn't realistic to their needs and desires. But once they get over that crescent of $300,000, all of a sudden a new style of home, better condition, a better location opens up. And then at that point they're like, oh my God, we can really live here. So it does help A, get exposure, and B, once the buyer does walk in, they generally, believe it or not, will end up paying somewhere around $305 to $315 in that window, which is probably a price that you would have accepted anyway as a seller if it was in the open market at $329,900. So what we try to recommend is, if you have that home that is priced right on the crescent of $299,000 and $320,000 or $499,000 and $520,000, if it's right near that kind of that $100,000 range, you want to try to value range price. You want to get out into the market $299,000 to $329,900. Now you might say, well, Blaze, if you had a price of $299,900 range to $329,900, then why would a buyer want to pay $299,000 or even more? They're probably going to come in at $280,000 or $270,000. And the reality is that some of them do. The reality is that most of them don't. Most of them actually end up paying $305,000, $310,000, right in the middle of the range. And in the remarks section of the multiple listing service, what we put is, this home is being value range priced from $299,000 to $329,000, and that sellers will consider offers in this range. We don't say that the seller will accept an offer. We just say that the seller will consider the offer in this particular price range. So it's kind of exciting to get all those folks that are looking to buy homes in the $200,000 range, to get them into the low 300s. And it's one way of doing it. And I think strategically it helps you as a seller. And strategically from a buyer standpoint, it helps the buyer step into a little more than what they thought they were going to be spending, because they've been looking for a year, year and a half, and haven't been successful, when really all they had to do was come over that $300,000 number, maybe by $5,000. So if $299,900 is their top number, maybe a $304,900 is not so bad. And I think from a mortgage standpoint, it might be another $10 a month. So it's not a big pressure point for the buyer, but it does help them see that, hey, there's another whole world out there in the low 300s, instead of just staying within the 200 range. Just another tidbit from Coco Early Associates to help you. We always encourage you to give us a call. We're willing to help, come out, do a market analysis, and explain the new technologies and the new ways of strategizing to get you top dollar for your home. Give us a call. Thank you.